Joining now with more on the southern security situation, former head of the Israeli Counter-Terrorism Bureau, Brigadier General Reserves, Nitzan Nuriel. Brigadier General, thank you so much for joining us. Now, the South is on heavy alert since Monday night. Reservists are being called in. What's your assessment of the situation?
First and foremost, we need to understand that the reservists that called last night, most of them belong to the Home Front Command in order to make sure that all the villages and all the civilian side are fully secure and they know what to do. We are not speaking about units that may be take operation inside Gaza. This is not the case at that stage. Regarding the overall situation, I'm sure that the Israeli policy is very clear. Hamas has the overall responsibility, and yet the Islamic Jihad from time to time do not listen to the Hamas, and they can take their own way to say we are not happy with what's going with the Israelis and us in Judah and Samaria, and we have something to say. And we all remember that in the Middle East, if you have something to say, you are mainly open fire. So the concept to be safe than sorry is also relevant to this case. And therefore, we took all the steps in order to minimize the option of the other side to find targets and to load the profile of all the activities that are not really needed along the border.
Well, so is Israel's sitting on the fence really deterring any terror retaliation from Islamic Jihad or any other group, or are the Islamic jihadists just waiting for the right moment?
Sitting on the fence, meaning that we are not taking action, and this is not the case. The case is that we do take action.
Sorry, perhaps I misspoke. Sitting on the fence, I intended to say that Israel is building up its forces on the outer edges, on the borders of Gaza. So is that creating a real deterrent against Islamic Jihad, or is Islamic Jihad maybe just biding its time?
The Israeli deterrence versus Gaza, based on few layers, it's not only one actions or one element. And yes, I believe that after the last operation in Gaza, the Hamas leadership realized that fighting with us may cost them very high prices. Is this enough? Is this for good? The answer is no. Deterrence is something very tricky. When it's not longer relevant, it's too late. So you have to maintain it. And that's the way we do. We maintain it by increasing the defense capabilities. We maintain it by providing some benefits if they stay quiet, like allowed workers come to work in Gaza, in Israel, from Gaza. And as I said, it's a set of tools. And yes, I believe that the Gaza leaders, mainly the Hamas, do not want to have any clash with us. Regarding the Islamic Jihad, they obviously have a different agenda. Therefore, Hamas need to take action against them, which they do. Surprisingly enough, Hamas invests a lot of efforts to prevent Islamic Jihad from taking actions. So I believe that right now the Israeli policy is the right policy. On one hand, to make sure that we don't have casualties in the Israeli side, and therefore we took some steps like closing the roads, shut down the train in this area, and so far and so on. On the other hand, the other side know and see the Israeli overall capabilities in case of they will make a mistake.
Well, so, all right, now you mentioned, of course, Hamas and the operations that Hamas takes against Islamic Jihad. And we've heard that Hamas and Fatah, for that matter, have interests in keeping the calm and allowing Islamic Jihad to be weakened. How does Hamas fit into the conflict along the Gaza border at the moment then, and against Islamic Jihad and terror in general?
We need to define between three different, let's say, visions that Hamas has at that time. For the very short term, he needs quiet borders. He wants to recover. He needs to be able to provide the people of Gaza what they need. We all remember that Yahya Sinwar lost the last elections. and it's not a joke, in the Middle East, it doesn't matter who vote, it's matter who count the votes, and they count the votes 3 times in order to declare victory. And Yahya Sinwar knows better than anybody else that he needs time in order to provide the people of Gaza whatever they need. In the midterm, the Hamas want to control the Palestinian Authority. They want to control Judah and Samaria.
Well, so,
by the way, this is one of the reasons.
Well, I was just
By the way, this is one of.
I'm sorry. I was just going to press. I was just going to press a little bit on if Hamas has recovered since the 2021 war, Guardians of the Walls. You know, because we know that they're stockpiling arms again near civilian buildings, including schools and hospitals, even UN facilities.
Recover meaning that on one hand you probably increase or renew your military stock, but on the other side, all the infrastructure are still very poor. Electricity, water, things like that, that Hamas understand that you need to provide to the people of Gaza.
All right, Brigadier General, thank you again so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye.
Will your children grow up Jewish? It all depends on their education. For more information about an Israeli scholarship, scan the QR code here.